welcome back, YouTube. Cameron States here, the Hawaiian Trader. Got a hot topic for you. So this is funny because it's all the rage right now. It's all over the place, so I thought at least I'd do a video about it, and that is brokers. Discount brokers, and they're now free. Okay, wow. Where to start here? One of the biggest things that I hope this channel brings to you all is just pure education. There is so much stuff, junk, publicity, marketing that's out there, media that is so dead wrong. It is so ridiculous how wrong it is. And I'm hoping that if I can clarify some of this information, that it's at least going to make you more aware of what's actually going on. So, the other day I had a lot of investors give me some pushback on commission fees. Now hold on a sec, because I know I have a lot of beginners here. What are commission fees? Well, anytime you deal with a broker, so let's address that first. Number one, you don't get to trade Wall Street. You cannot be there. You don't have a seat. You're not one of the good old boys. You don't have enough money. You can't be on Wall Street unless you know the right people and you have a lot of money. Then you could buy a seat on the floor, so to speak. What that means is it allows these big banks, institutions, firms to be able to trade Wall Street. Now, we typically, like myself, I can't do that. I'm not one of these big institutions and banks. I can't do it. I don't have a seat on the floor. So anytime I want to access investments on the floor, I have to go through a bank. I have to go through a broker. And I'm borrowing basically their access to information and investments to allow me to trade on the floor. Now, this doesn't matter what you want to trade. If you want to trade stocks, buy and sell shares of a company, that's a product that's on the floor. What about options? Yes, contracts that control shares, the same share. Yes, that's another product. Exchange traded funds, mutual funds. Yes, all of these things you cannot access unless you go through a broker who has access. Now, what this means for you and I, the retail investor, means cost, money. In order for you to access their exclusive permission and membership, you have to pay a fee. We call those commissions. Now, there's really two buckets that this fits into. I want to talk about full service brokers, and I want to talk about discount brokers. A full service broker is basically you give all of your money to a bank or a broker. They manage it, they divvy it up, they put it where it needs to go, and they're going to charge you fees. Several, I should say, not one. Several fees, annual fees, service fees, trade fees, just to name a few. They're going to charge you for every single thing that they do. They're a bank. That's how they make money. Plus, you're accessing their membership to the floor. So, of course, it's going to cost you money. Now, that is a full service broker. Now, what has happened in the last, I'd say, 15 years is that has become very unpopular with a lot of people. And the reason why is market conditions, and two, mismanagement. When people mismanage our money and we lose money or we lose part of our retirement, we get a little upset about that because we're trusting supposedly the professionals to get us ahead, and they don't. So it's becoming unpopular. What has also been interesting is the advancements of technology have made some of this information extremely easy for us to access. Now, we still have to go through a broker to access this information, but technology has made it extremely, extremely easy that we could do it from the comforts of our own home or even our phones. So, all you need is the internet. Now, this is called a discount broker. It's when I use a broker and their exclusive membership to access the floor and trades potentially. However, this information that I'm accessing, I am investing myself. So I choose the stocks, I choose the options, I decide what price, I do my own negotiation when I trade. That's a discount broker. Now that we know that, now we can get to the concept or the topic today, which is, now they're all free. Don't even worry about it. It's free for you. Well, let's talk about it. Number one, they're a bank. I've never, ever in the existence of my lifetime seen a bank that did anything for free. And anytime somebody says this, let's take banks out of it. Anytime somebody says something's for free, buy one, get one free. Buy three and the fourth is free. Join now for free. there is always a hook. There's always a catch. There's something that they're trying to do. When you look at basic coupons, for example, why do grocery stores offer coupons? Why do restaurants, food industry, why do they offer these deals, right? These deals for everyone. It's not because of the deal. You think about it. If I go in because they're doing a 2-for-1 sale, the establishment is simply getting me, the consumer, to come in for the deal because they know once I walk in the door for the deal, what am I going to do? I'm probably going to buy other things. I'm probably going to buy some additional grocery items. I'm probably going to buy some additional products or more food on the menu. You see, it's all just a game to get consumers to spend money at the establishment. So now let's talk about these banks. All the rage right now is that it's free. The products are free. You can now open an account online for free with a broker. No more fees. First of all, not true. There are certain products that are free, but most of the products are not. As an example, I trade with a broker called E-Trade, owned by Charles Schwab. E-Trade, and by the way, it wasn't a decision that I made. I actually was trading with a broker by the name of Option Monster. They were bought out by Option House, later bought out by E-Trade. That's how I ended at E-Trade. And I'm not giving any recommendations on to go with them. I'm just saying my experience, I'm working with E-Trade. When I went on E-Trade's website, of course, when the large announcement went out, I looked to see, because I'm always skeptical. I know how the game works. I've been in it for a long time. And as soon as a bank says it's free, I said, nah, let's read some fine print. I get in there and I find out that, yes, there are some free products. Let me name the 3 of them. Stocks, stocks and options, and ETFs. Now, that means if I want to buy shares, I can do it for free online. If I want to buy an ETF, which stands for Exchange Traded Fund, which is a lot like a mutual fund. It's a conglomerate or group of different items, products that I can use as a diversification, like a fund, right? Like mutual fund. And for those of you, I realize I have some new viewers that don't know what a mutual fund is. It's basically the idea of not owning one, but many pieces of many different companies in one specific product to allow me to be spread out over the market, saying I'm diversified. That's what an ETF can be. That's what a mutual fund can be. But when you look at all these products that are available, these are the same products that are offered in a full service account. I don't trade a lot of stocks. I don't trade too many ETFs. And I don't do a lot of stock and options. In fact, I do a lot of just straight up options. That's it. And if you haven't seen my video on calls, buying and selling calls, there's a 2-part video. You might want to watch those because I talk about the difference between ownership and control. And I definitely like the control side of the game, which allows me to spend less money and have better upside. I like to be more like the bank instead of the one buying bank products. So therefore, I like options, not stock. So what I noticed is when I looked at products that I actually trade, options, bonds, futures, all of them are not free. It's the same fees that I'm going to be paying. It hasn't changed one bit. And that kind of raised a question in my mind. I thought, so the banking industry, Wall Street right now, has just announced to the entire nation that everything is free. But the only products that are actually free are the products that are in a full service account. Why in the world then are banks driving at the same time this initiative? Well, it's to drive money into the banks. That's all that it is. The more money you drive into the banks, the more money they can play with and use, the more they can lend out and get interest rates or collect interest on it. There's more that they can do with money, but not their money, your money. They specifically want your money. And unfortunately in our country, we've all been brainwashed into consumers, not investors and not bankers. And as soon as somebody throws up a coupon or a deal, we run like crazy and think this is the best time for me to do this. I've always wanted to do stocks. I've always wanted to be in the market. Now's my chance because it's free. Well, that's exactly what they're hoping, folks. They're hoping that you run with your checkbooks and your accounts wide open and you give them all of your money because now they've made it free for you just for you because they care. Really? Okay, so now you understand what's happening. Number one, read the fine print. Number two, you're dealing with banks. So again, see rule one, read the fine print. Number three, see what kind of investments you're actually going to be using. Like in my case, I'm an option trader. Absolutely has no effect on me at all. I'm not running with more money to the banks and I'm not giving them anything. Just to be clear, and for the sake of this video, I do not have a full service broker. I don't give anyone my money. I don't trust anyone with my money, especially not banks. So I am definitely not running to them to see what their coupon's all about. I want 100% control. I want to fill my brain with knowledge so that I can compete. And technology has allowed us to compete now with banks and with Wall Street. So I want to be a competitor. I don't want to get sucked into the lies. So don't believe the hype. It ain't free. Thanks for joining me, guys. Catch you next time.